Hello everybody, this is Wall Clan Week, Game Tech Wall Punk Master, and if you live in America, I'm sure you've heard of the breaking news of the shootings in Colorado. If you haven't, I'll briefly explain it. A man named Holmes, I believe that is his last name, went on a killing spree in one of the theaters. It was a Batman The Dark Knight Rises premiere, midnight premiere, which I went to a midnight premiere of that, actually, and it was awesome. But that is besides the point. Anyways, he went on a killing spree, killing 12 people, which, you know, may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot. Even one person being killed is a lot. And he ended up injuring 59 people as well. And the weird thing is, he probably was crazy or something. He disguised himself as the Joker, supposedly, and claimed to the police that he was a Joker. Which is, you know, he's probably crazy. He probably may, I mean, I don't know what the charges are in Colorado. I don't know how the system works there, but, you know, in California, he could probably plead insanity, which is kind of a stupid thing. But anyways, look at this. I don't understand how that happened in the gameplay. But anyways, so he went on a killing spree, and the weird thing about this, not the weird thing, is this sort of thing can happen very easily in your own backyard. I mean, I'm sure, yes, this is very upsetting, but a lot of people are, you know, if you don't live in Colorado, it's probably not going to affect you that much. Next time you go to the movies, you're probably not going to be checking your back for insane murderers, you know, carrying guns and dressed in the Joker. You're probably not going to do that unless you live in Colorado. But the thing is, this can happen so easily with, you know, today's law guns. You can easily go out, buy a gun legally, and go on a massive shooting spree. He ended up having 2 handguns, Glock 45s or Glock 40, something like that, a pump-action shotgun, and some assault rifle, AR-15, I believe. And it's so easy to get this. I mean, obviously, if you're a child or a minor, you can't. But it is so easy in America to just simply legally buy a gun and, you know, do whatever you want with it. Obviously, it's illegal, yes, but those are, to an insane murderer, those are stipulations, those aren't laws that he's going to follow. And, you know, in the Constitution, yes, it says you have the right to bear arms. I agree with that. But the Constitution says that for the reason that if a revolution breaks out, like the American Revolution, the citizens have a way to defend themselves. It is a way to the reason that amendment was there is so that if America's, you know, government ever becomes tyrannical or something like that, just like, you know, the British, the UK, whatever it was back then, America didn't agree with it, tyrannical if you wish. You know, that's how the Americans viewed it. They were able to rise and defend themselves. That was the reason for the amendment to right to bear arms. Now, people abuse this amendment to buy fully automatic assault rifles, and yes, you can claim it for sport. But if any man, let's say I got in a tussle or an argument with a fellow compadre of mine or just a stranger, he could, and if he held a grudge, if he was probably more on the insane side, I mean, your average human being is not going to go a murderous spree. But if someone really did not like me, if we got in an argument or something, he could go out, buy a gun. I mean, it's not that easy. I'm sure you have to get a license and all that stuff. But if he was so upset, he could go out, get a license, do all that stuff, buy a gun, and shoot me. Just like that. That's how easy it is to do it. In the UK, I believe you're not allowed to buy guns or something. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to, you know, talk about that because I'm not an expert on that sort of thing. But the thing is, it's so easy to do that, and you know, it's sad when that happens, but honestly, nothing's going to change. I know that for a fact. Nothing is going to change. I remember the Columbine shooting. I don't remember exactly when it was. A few years back, when two people went on a mass murdering streak in a high school. People were like, we should change the guns laws and all that stuff. I'm sure some things did get changed. I believe Walmart stopped selling ammo for that certain type of gun, but that's not going to stop someone. You can easily go buy a gun anywhere you want. I mean, you know, at a local gun shop or anything. Nothing is going to change. Just stuff can happen so easily in America. And I'm not saying I have a solution for this. No, I don't have a solution for this. I don't know what we should do this. I don't think you should repeal the amendment. Even which, people would be so upset about that happening, like, you can't change the Constitution, even though Thomas Jefferson said this. One of the people who made the Constitution, said that, every so years, every decade or so, the Constitution should be revised, and, changed so it can adapt to the modern day civilization. Ergo, people are saying the Constitution says gay marriage is illegal, basically. That can be changed to, accommodate that. It's not like the Constitution is set in stone. I mean, I'm sure things have been changed, like the slavery, for example. But anyways, I don't have a solution for this. I just want to keep you, be aware that this thing can happen. I'm not saying, check your back everywhere you go. You shouldn't live in fear. But the thing in America is, people take things for granted a lot. People take life for granted. But some things you should take for granted. I think you should also take life for granted. People are saying, you shouldn't take life for granted. You shouldn't, take food for granted. There are some things that you need to take for granted. There are some things living in America that you should be able to take for granted. Life, for example, freedom. You won't go into slavery is something you should take for granted. There's the Moab and the gameplay. I'm sorry I haven't posted anything in a while. Just want to give you sort of like, be aware of this sort of thing. I'm sure there's going to be some charity going up. If you want to donate to that, be my guest. I'm not going to stop you, even though I have no power. You don't even care what I'm saying right now. But, it's a solemn day in America. But trust me, in a couple weeks, maybe a month or so, people are going to forget about this. Yes, people in Colorado are not going to forget about this. The families of those people are going to forget about that. But maybe in a month or so, I will do a commentary and say, hey, you remember that thing that happened? And you were probably not going to remember. And I'm probably not going to remember. I'm probably not going to do a commentary about it. That's how much I'm not going to remember it. These sort of things can happen, and in America, if people are so selfish, and don't get me wrong, I'm selfish too. I'm not saying I'm some holy man or anything, and I'm above everybody else, because I'm not. But in America, people are so selfish, and I'm sure everywhere people are selfish enough that when something like this bad happens, if it doesn't affect them personally, and when I mean personally, I mean like really, one of their family members dies, or it happens in your home, you're going to take it for granted. You're just going to pass it by and be like, yes, this is sad, this is terrible, but, it's not going to, it didn't affect me. So you kind of just pass it by, you let it go by. Yes, it is sad. I mean, Coney, for example. Coney died down, a long time ago. People don't care about Coney anymore. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of people that do, but, it's not the huge thing. Coney 2012, you don't see everyone posting on Facebook. Haiti. I don't see... Haiti's still in a crappy position, but there's not millions of people donating as much as before. People just forget, and that's okay, that's just... It's not okay, but that's just what happens. And I'm sorry I don't have a solution to this. I'm sorry this was a glum commentary. I don't want to be, think I'm some holy person, like I said, and I'm above everybody saying, America's terrible, I love America. But just be aware of the sort of thing that this can happen. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and favorite. Again, be aware. Don't be checking your back every time you turn a corner, but, think about it. Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.